guys. Alright, so last year I created this really random and completely wacky animation that you guys are looking at right now. It's just this man running on a treadmill with a giant donut on his back, and he's kicking these donuts all over the place, and it makes absolutely no sense. But I shared this on Instagram and the community actually found it quite hilarious. It was really fun to actually put together, but this was actually an exercise to see how I could actually attach objects onto an animated character. So as long as you've got a rigged character with a bunch of joints in the skeleton, then you'll see that we'll actually be able to attach certain objects, or actually any object, onto those joints, and the objects are going to move with the movement of the character as well. So I'm going to be showing you how to do that in Cinema 4D. It's actually really simple to do, and I hope you guys are ready. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so the donut man has returned, and the only difference is he's actually found some clothes for himself, and those donuts he had on his arms have disappeared, and a donut has now made its way to his head. But yeah, this is just a regular Genesis 2 DAZ model that I uploaded to Mixamo, and I rigged it with Mixamo, and it's got the exact same animation that you guys are going to see here. So it's that same slouched running animation. Okay, but the difference is, you'll see if I play the animation, our character is moving, but these objects in the scene are not moving with our character at all. Alright, so that's the whole point of this tutorial. I'm going to be showing you how to attach these objects onto this character so that they move with him. Okay, so something really important to keep in mind, you'll see that whenever you have animated or rigged characters, usually they come with the like a skeleton. You'll see there's an underlying skeleton over here. You'll see that here's my Genesis 2 male. This is a FBX file, and there's this green icon in Cinema 4D, and this indicates these joints. And then here's my actual OBJ of my character with all of the maps. If I go ahead and I hide this character, you'll just see this skeleton underneath, and if I click on play, you can still see the skeleton moving, and it's got all of these joints connected to it, and that's really important. And it's also very important, you'll see that when we're referencing different joints, if we stay in this view, we'll be able to reference a point and see what the name of that joint is, so that we can attach it to the object when we've got a particular tag on there. But we're going to get to that, don't worry guys. I'll take you through the whole process, but it is pretty simple to do. So as long as you've got a rigged character and you can see the skeleton with all of these joints, you should be good to go. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and unhide my character here, just so I can see him in the scene. And these objects in my scene are completely independent of the character. So they're not attached to him in any way. I've just imported my own separate OBJs. And if you guys are wondering where I got these donuts from, they're actually part of my photogrammetry food pack on my Gumroad page. So if you guys want to get your hands on some scanned food objects, head over to my Gumroad and you can pick these up. But yeah, so when you import your OBJ, they are not going to be grouped like this, right? You can see I've got donut back in a group. So you're going to import your object, and it's usually going to be on its own like this. So I'm actually going to take it out of the group. Let me delete that. You'll usually go to File, Merge, go and find your OBJ and import it into the scene. So it'll import like this. Now it's really important that we group these objects. So to group an object, you go and you right click and you say group objects, and it's going to put it in a null group like that, and double click on there, and I'm just going to name this again donut back. Okay, so, and like I said, we can literally attach any object onto this character by referencing these joints. So I'm going to attach this donut back. Let me just hide my donut, and if I hide my character again, I want to attach him onto the back. And let me just hide the clothing here as well, so we can see this a lot better. So I'll just hide the clothing. So I want to attach him onto the back. So the closest joint to his back over here would be, well, depending on where I want it placed, this seems like a more accurate spot. So I'm going to go back to my rig over here. And here on the left, we want to make sure, hold on the left mouse button, it will bring up a drop down menu like this. You want to make sure you're in object mode, and this allows you to select these different circles that you see over here, these different objects or joints. And it's really important that you do this because you'll be able to see the name of that joint. But obviously we don't see anything in our scene. Well, actually, if you look to the right over here, you would be able to see the name. But just to make things a little bit more easier, so we can see the name of all of these joints, if you go to your rigged character and right here on top, where it's the main name of the character, you can see it's got all of these child objects attached to this. I'm going to go to the parent, right click on that, and I'm going to go to unfold all. And now as soon as I go on that, you can see it basically exposes all of the joints within this rig. So there's big toe, left foot, left thigh, abdomen, and this is how all of these joints are named with the DAS characters. Now it makes it a lot easier, especially when you're using a DAS character. So I want to reference this joint over here, and this one you'll see while I'm in object mode, it shows me that this is called abdomen 2. So I must just remember that. Okay, so we want to attach our donut. So I'm just going to close that for now. We want to attach our donut back. Okay, so we actually have to use a tag. We're going to go to tags, character tags, and then we want to use a constraint tag. So we're going to constrain this donut to that joint on our rig. So while you're on the tag, you want to change the priority to generators, and the constraints you want to put on PSR. As soon as you click on that, you'll see that there's a target here. So now by target, we're basically going to drag the abdomen from our Genesis rig into target. So I'm going to go over here. This is called abdomen 2. Okay, so go back. Actually, I should put this donut back on top of the rig just so it's a bit easier to navigate. And that is abdomen. Just want to make 100% sure I'm selecting the right one. That's abdomen 2. So you'll go back to your constraint and you're going to drag abdomen 2 into the target. And right now it's attached to the character, right? You'll see if I click on play, there we go. It's already moving with our character. So it really is as simple as that, but you'll notice that the actual orientation and placement of the object changed. So we need to fix that. So I'm going to go to my donut back, and if you click on the group, you won't be able to move this donut. You need to go inside of your group and make sure you're selecting the actual object, then you'll be able to adjust it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to unhide my character, my male character, and I'm going to unhide his clothing as well. And now I can go ahead, move this and rotate it into place, and it's currently attached to our character. So you'll see now if I click on play, there we go, our donut is attached to that, I don't know, it said that back abdomen joint over there. I don't know why I'm saying I don't know. The abdomen 2 joint, I just feel like it should have been named back. But anyway, we attached it to that joint. You can see now it's moving with the character. That is exactly what we wanted. It really is as simple as that, guys. We're basically just referencing joints and then constraining that object onto the joint so that it moves with that joint. But it's really important that we select the correct joint so that we get a more accurate and believable movement with our object on our character. Okay, so I'm going to do the exact same for this donut here on the top. So I'm just going to bring this all the way back to 0. It's always good to pose your objects on frame 0. Right, so general rule of thumb, always go back to frame 0 and then pose your object. Because sometimes if you may be posing your object at frame 16, when you move it all the way back to 0, it might intersect with the character or you might get some errors. So just go back to 0 and then pose it. Okay, so let's do the same with donut top. So this one's already in a group. So I'm just going to select head, go to tags, character tags, constraint, put my priority on generator, and then PSR. Okay, and then I'm going to also just drag this to the top so it's a little bit easier to select the joint. Let me just go ahead, hide the donut, hide my character again, and let's see over here. Okay, in this case I actually don't need to reference any joints over here. I know that this is going to be the head, and there is a group named head with the DAS character. So let me unhide that. So I'm going to go to this section here, my constraint tag, and I'm going to look for head and just drag head into target, and there we go. Now remember, I need to make sure I'm selecting the object, and now I can go ahead and pose this however I want. And if I click on play, both of these donuts are now constrained to those joints and they move with the character. So you too can create the epic donut man. Okay, and yeah guys, that's basically it. It's actually really simple to do, but obviously it depends what you want to do. You could use it for something more practical, like maybe there'll be an armor piece. Maybe you've sculpted an armor piece that you want to attach to his shoulder, or maybe you've even got a sword and you want to attach it to the right hand so that it moves with his hand, or maybe even a mask that you want to attach to his face. So you can do some really cool stuff by actually attaching the objects onto your character and then having those objects move with the character's movement as well. Okay. Alright guys, like I said, it's that simple. Just something to take note of. If you guys are maybe sculpting some assets, like maybe sculpting stylized hair or sculpting a mask, I would actually have my character in the T-pose. So your animation should actually be set up in a way that it goes from the T-pose and then transitions into the animation. And I do have a video tutorial on that as well. If you guys are interested, you can check my channel, or in the description I've probably linked it below if you guys want to find out how to do that. But if you sculpt your assets in the T-pose, I think it might prevent you from having to reposition certain assets. And always, whenever you're posing these objects, always do it on frame 0, because like I said, if you're posing on like frame 16 or something else, it can cause some issues earlier on with the animation where it can maybe intersect with something you didn't want. So yeah, it's that simple. Now you guys can also go ahead and start attaching random objects to your characters. So if you want to attach apples, donuts, dinosaurs, unicorns to your characters, you guys can do that. Or you can do something more practical, like I mentioned earlier, with swords or masks, whatever you want, and have it move with your animated character. So there we go guys, our donut man, he's on his journey. He found some clothes, the donuts are still with him, it's his trademark, and now you guys are equipped with the knowledge to do this as well. Alright, so feel free to show me some of your examples as well, and as always guys, thank you so much for the support on my channel. I truly appreciate it, and stay tuned for some more tutorials, and goodbye.